Tonight, we journey into the heart of the countryside, where idyllic farmhouses hide dark and terrifying secrets. These places, often seen as symbols of peace and hard work, have witnessed horrors beyond imagination. The tales we bring you tonight are not just stories but true accounts of real people who have experienced the unexplainable. From ghostly apparitions to cursed lands, these farmhouses are far from the tranquil retreats they appear to be. So sit back, turn off the lights, and prepare yourself for 3 creepy true farmhouse horror stories. As always, don't forget to hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more bone-chilling content. Now, let's dive into the first story. Story 1. The Haunted Barn. The Henderson family moved to Willow Creek, excited about their new farmhouse and the life they were about to start. The property included a large old barn that intrigued Mr. Henderson. From the beginning, strange occurrences plagued the family. At night, they heard whispers and saw shadowy figures moving around the barn. Initially, they thought it was just their imagination or the settling of the old building. But one evening, Mr. Henderson found old farming tools covered in what appeared to be dried blood. This discovery prompted him to research the history of the property. A local historian revealed a grim past. The barn was once the site of dark rituals performed by a cult. The cult members vanished mysteriously, leaving behind a legacy of terror. The Hendersons tried to ignore the paranormal activity, but it grew worse. Doors slammed, objects moved on their own, and the whispering voices became louder, often chanting in an unknown language. Mrs. Henderson began seeing apparitions of hooded figures in the barn, their eyes glowing with an eerie light. The children refused to go near the barn, claiming they saw faces in the windows staring at them with malevolent intent. One night, Mr. Henderson decided to confront whatever was haunting them. Armed with a flashlight and a sense of determination, he entered the barn. As he walked deeper into the darkness, he felt a cold hand touch his shoulder. He turned around, but no one was there. The whispers grew louder, and he saw the ghostly figures encircling him. Terrified, he ran back to the house, vowing never to enter the barn again. The family reached out to a paranormal investigator, who confirmed the presence of malevolent spirits. The investigator performed several cleansing rituals, but each attempt only seemed to anger the spirits more. The paranormal activity escalated to a terrifying level. The family began to experience severe poltergeist phenomena. Heavy furniture moved on its own, mirrors shattered and eerie. Disembodied voices called out their names. One night, the entire family awoke to find themselves unable to move, paralyzed in their beds as shadowy figures loomed over them. The experience was so traumatic that the Hendersons decided they had no choice but to leave immediately. They packed up their belongings and fled the house, leaving behind many of their possessions. After moving away, they discovered that the new tenants also experienced paranormal activity, and the haunted barn's reputation spread throughout Willow Creek. Locals now warn newcomers about the sinister history of the barn, ensuring its legacy of fear continues. Story 2. The Ghostly Farmer. In rural Ohio, the Mitchell family bought a charming farmhouse at an unbelievably low price. They were thrilled with their purchase until strange things began to happen. Late at night, they heard heavy footsteps in the hallway and saw the apparition of a farmer dressed in old-fashioned clothing. The sightings became frequent, and the ghostly figure seemed to be trying to communicate with them. The Mitchells learned from the previous owner that the ghost was that of a farmer who had tragically died in an accident while working the land. His spirit never found peace and continued to haunt the farmhouse. As time passed, the ghost's presence became more aggressive. Objects were thrown across the room, and doors slammed shut violently. The children were especially frightened. Waking up to the farmer's apparition standing by their beds, his eyes filled with sorrow and desperation. Desperate for answers, the Mitchells consulted a local medium who confirmed the spirit's unrest. She attempted to help the ghost move on, but the farmer's spirit was too strong, bound to the land by unfinished business. The medium suggested that the family try to uncover what the farmer wanted. They discovered old journals hidden in the attic, detailing the farmer's life and the tragic accident that led to his death. It turned out that the farmer's son had disappeared the same day the farmer died, and the ghost was searching for his lost child. The Mitchells, moved by the story, decided to help the spirit find peace. They organized a search and eventually found the remains of the farmer's son in a nearby forest, bringing them back to the farmhouse for a proper burial. After the burial, the ghost's presence diminished, but it did not disappear entirely. The farmer's apparition still appeared occasionally, but now he seemed more at peace. However, the haunting had taken its toll on the family. The constant fear and unsettling experiences left them emotionally drained. They decided to sell the farmhouse and move to a new home, hoping to leave the past behind. Years later, the new owners reported similar sightings and disturbances, suggesting that while the farmer's spirit had found some peace, he was still tied to the land. Locals tell the tale of the ghostly farmer as a cautionary story, warning others about the restless spirit that roams the old farmhouse. Story 3. The Cursed Land. The Johnson family inherited a farmhouse in Kansas, surrounded by acres of fertile land. Excited to start their new life, they moved in immediately. However, from the very first day, they felt an unsettling presence. The crops they planted withered inexplicably, and their livestock began to die under mysterious circumstances. A neighbor, aware of the land's history, told them it was cursed by a Native American tribe long ago. The curse was said to bring misfortune and death to anyone who tried to live there. The Johnsons began experiencing vivid nightmares and strange illnesses that doctors couldn't explain. Objects in the house would move on their own, and they often heard distant drumming and chanting at night. Desperate for answers, they sought help from a local shaman who performed a cleansing ritual. The rituals seemed to alleviate some of the paranormal activity, but the sense of dread never fully left. The Johnsons constantly felt watched, as if unseen eyes were observing their every move. One night, they awoke to find symbols drawn in ash around their home, reinforcing the belief that the curse was real. The shaman explained that the land was sacred and had been desecrated by previous owners, leading to the curse. He advised the Johnsons to respect the land and make amends with the spirits. The family began performing regular rituals to honor the Native American spirits, and slowly the activity subsided. However, the fear of the curse lingered, and they eventually decided to leave, passing the farmhouse to another unsuspecting family. The new owners reported similar experiences, perpetuating the legend of the cursed land and its eerie hold on those who dare to call it home. The Johnsons moved to a new town, but the memories of their time in the farmhouse haunted them. They shared their story with others, hoping to warn future inhabitants about the dangers of the cursed land. Over the years, the farmhouse changed hands multiple times, with each new family experiencing strange phenomena. The legend of the cursed land grew, and the farmhouse became infamous. Local children would dare each other to visit the property, but most were too scared to venture close. The once thriving farmland became overgrown and abandoned, a stark reminder of the dark history that lingered in the shadows. These stories remind us that even the most serene and picturesque places can harbor dark secrets and unexplainable horrors. The Hendersons, Mitchells, and Johnsons all sought peace and a new start in their farmhouses, only to be met with fear and terror. These true accounts serve as a chilling reminder that sometimes the past refuses to stay buried, and the supernatural can be all too real. If you enjoyed these eerie tales, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Legendary Stories for more unsettling content. Your support helps us continue to bring you the best in horror storytelling. Thank you for watching, and remember, sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that are true. Stay safe and sleep well, if you can.